But here you have a 22-year-old kid, a dopehead, marijuana, just genuinely insane, irrational. And the first thought, the desperate hope that the losers in November of 2010 had was that they could revitalize their political fortunes because of this unfortunate shooting of a congresswoman in Arizona. That was the most important thing to them. And that, to me, is sick. You know that they were rubbing hands together. You know that they were emailing and calling each other on the phone saying, aha, this might be the one. This might be the one where we can officially tie it to these guys and shut them up and shut them down. They want you to believe that sadness was on the order of the day, and I'm sure it was, but the opportunity couldn't help themselves. They just couldn't help themselves. Their first objective and first priority was to try to make an association between this nut and Sarah Palin. What? I mean, that's absolutely, you talk about insane? This guy doesn't know Sarah Palin. She doesn't know him. The really weak, flimsy, balsa wood type attempts to link this guy to Sarah Palin. The difference is that the majority of the American people don't buy it. The difference today and 15, 20 years ago is these people on the left are now seen by a majority of Americans for who they are and what they are. They can't sell what they have to sell. Real question, who are the parents of this kid? What kind of a job did they do raising this kid? Are the parents derelicts? So what? This guy spends time on the web, surfing and so forth. Really? If people on the right and Sarah Palin and so forth are responsible for all of this, and this vitriol and rhetoric is so pitched, how come this isn't happening every day? Why is it the vast exception to the rule? There's no logic in any of the assertions that they're making. None. That they couldn't wait. Chartering the planes, scrambling to get out to Arizona on Saturday for the Sunday shows, to make connections that don't exist, making utter fools of themselves, embarrassingly so, to watch people who we're told are the biggest names in news today making absolute fools of themselves, and unnecessarily stirring the country up in ways that they probably don't even mind. But back to this kid's parents. Are they derelicts? They just draw an unlucky card, get a kid born with mental issues. Is there anybody investigating any of this? Mental health issues like this, often caused by drug use, and this guy was so devoted to marijuana, he wanted it to become the new U.S. currency. I don't know of anybody on my side of the aisle who suggested that. I mean, I think it's fatuous and silly to even verify or justify these accusations by defending them. Except the premise is insane, it's silly, and it's stupid. It's beneath these people. Or is it? It is who they are. Has anybody tried to institutionalize this kid? The pack mentality of the drive-bys has led them to ask none of these questions. Why are we constantly admonished not to rush to any conclusions? The president himself, after Fort Hood, don't rush to any conclusions here. Be very careful. We don't want to make any unfair allegations or associations here. Talking about Major Hassan on his shooting spree at Fort Hood. Now the same politicians and reporters are bending over backwards to try and link this shooting to me, to Sarah Palin, to an entire industry, talk radio. Only in these instances is something that said in the media said to influence public behavior. Go out and try to tell these same people that one of their top grossing movies has influenced abject perversion or radical behavior, and they will attack you left and right, saying that's entertainment, stands alone, people know the difference. You go out and accuse them of engaging in work, their art, such as crucifixes in jars of urine, or whatever other acts of perversion they engage in that they call art, their movies, their music. And you go try to tell them that their music is responsible for criminal behavior. And I mean, look at the reaction you get from that. You are considered to be a numbskull, old-fashioned, out, and not with the times. As they permanently, constantly insulate themselves from any influential behavior they might be responsible for, and yet run off without any evidence whatsoever and admit they've got no evidence. I use myself as an example during this ill-fated attempt of mine to be a part owner of the St. Louis Rams. Fake quotes promoting slavery and other such despicable things were made up and circulated, and were finally, after it was too late, documented to be all lies. Reaction was, yeah, well, probably thinks it anyway. Well, one of the early posts was, there's no evidence that this kid's linked to, blah, blah, but it's a good bet that he was. It's the same lame, transparent, purely political attempt by the American left to do what they cannot persuade the American people to do, and that is support them. They know they can't, they lose elections left and right, they got shellacked. The only thing they can do is get rid of, silence the opposition. All of this that you have been subjected to, if you've turned on the television over the weekend, has been pure politics, disguised as compassion and concern for a congresswoman. It's been nothing but pure politics. The same people. Mark Penn, we've got the soundbite coming up. Mark Penn, pollster. Obama needed his own Oklahoma City. Said it to Chris Matthews on MSNBC. Needs his own Oklahoma City. What does that mean? Obama needs mass murder in order to reconnect with the American people. It's not us saying this kind of stuff. It's not us hoping for this kind of stuff. It's not us celebrating and clapping our hands when it happens. It's them. It's sick. It's embarrassingly, depressingly sick.